All right, and we are live. Give me just a second. Let me get these links out, and then we will get rocking and rolling. Sorry, I got a little echo here from something, and okay, we got rid of that. Okay. Bam, and trading pit, Telegram, bam, pin, bam. Okay. So welcome everyone to Shitcoin Church. I don't know if you guys are or are not in the Discord. Give me just a sec. I'll post the music playlist for today because people are requesting it. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that or not. Lupe. Anyway, so we got a lot to cover today. We are going to go over some charts, and we're going to look at shit, and we're going to talk about psychology and stuff like that as always. Right now, you know, I briefly just wanted to discuss like how I'm feeling about the market, just because like it's important to take mental note of where your head's at different points, you know, in this process. You've got to constantly be thinking about how did I feel in a particular moment. You still don't see my posts in chat. Well, that's unfortunate. I'll post the playlist in Discord. Okay, and messy charts. So today's music, bam, there we go. No, I can't do the ledger face like Dumbo because I don't trust you. I don't trust you hoes. I don't trust these hoes. These hoes ain't loyal. Apparently I can't post anything. Yeah, apologies. This is like my favorite shirt, and my wife hates it, but it is chroma green. All right, so anyway, looking at the markets right now, like it's, and I feel like a lot of people, you know, kind of feel the same way, but it's just kind of a situation of like wind moon. I feel like I've been sitting here for fucking ever. It's April 5th now. Like all of this DeFi shit topped out the first time early February, and it's just kind of been a waiting game ever since. You know, if we look at where DeFi topped out end of DeFi summer, when would that have been? Early September. So we pretty much had all of September, all of October, all of November, and all of December. I mean, it was 4 painful months of bear market, but we had 3 months of actual like bull market for DeFi, like pretty fucking amazing. Here we're in a situation where we had really 1 month of bull market, and now we're on 2 months now about of DeFi bear, which just sucks. It just sucks. It's just like, you know, waiting is almost the worst part. And yes, like, you know, I feel like I'm in good things, I've got good setups and all that, you know, blah, 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 blah. But right now, you know, I'm just kind of bored. Now, it's important to know when you're bored, because when you're bored, that's when I find that people start doing really stupid shit. You might trade yourself out of a really good position. You might, you know, you might fucking decide to buy something stupid. You might, I mean, there's just tons of ways you can just shoot yourself in the foot right now. So I do recommend, if you are bored, to find out something to take your mind off of these temptations to sell. I mean, things that are honestly perfectly good looking setups. For me, I like going to the gym. You got Call of Duty Black Ops, Cold War. I've been thinking about getting Outriders, so if anybody has gotten Outriders, you know, please post in the chat if it's actually good or not. I was into the original Destiny, which I really liked. I never got into Destiny 2. I loved Anthem. Loved it. And I know that's like a controversial take. I didn't love it when it was in game and my mech or whatever my suit was like mega fucking badass. there just wasn't enough in-game content. You know, the game just kind of fell apart after, you know, it had a really weak storyline, but the graphics were insane, the world was insane, the mechanics were insane. It was a lot of fun. But I've been thinking about getting Outriders. Cosmos Extension wants to know, any WoW OGs? I was the biggest World of Warcraft addict ever before I went to college. We're talking, you know, 2007, 2006. And that's literally all I did. I was my main was a Night Elf Rogue, and I quit during Arena Season 3. And I still remember I sold my account for like $400, and that was just like the most money I'd ever seen at that time in my life. But I didn't want to sell it. My fucking parents made me sell it. Maybe I should do that. Maybe you should download the Outrider demo. I do love looter shooters. I mean, I love PvE. You know, I love PvP. I love FPSs. I love shooters in general. I'm pretty good. I'm not great. I'm not like, you know, like God tier by any means. But I'm definitely good, you know, when I play Call of Duty, you know. I prefer the multiplayer to Warzone, but I'm normally, you know, I'd say top 2 or 3 by score. You know, my KD is pretty good, all that kind of stuff. I don't know why I do it to myself, but I actually love Nuketown. It makes me fucking furious every time I play it, like literally so fucking mad. I like Apex Legends. I played Apex Legends. You'd rather play Anthem than Outriders? But, you know, looter shooters are cool. You know, it's something that you can just chill, you know, play with your buddies, you know, kill some random mobs and gear up, stuff like that. Yeah, Apex is a great game. I'm a huge Titanfall fan. I loved, dude, I'm the biggest whore for Shipment. I love Shipment. Shipment with any shotgun with a dragon's breath, and just the biggest asshole thing to do in the world, but it's hilarious. The dragon's breath and the chokes and all that. I love playing the troll builds. Sika wants to know, he says, Messiah, would you say you're overthinking your investments? No, I don't think so. I don't think I'm thinking about my investments at all at this point in time, because I'm in good things. There's a reason for me being in the things that I'm in, and I'm not a trader, I'm an investor. You know, I do use TA. TA can help fine-tune those entries and exits. At the end of the day, though, I want to buy things with good fundamentals, and that's a controversial take in, you know, in itself, because to be honest, fundamentals kind of got you fucked for the last 2 months. You know, if you look at what really pumped, it was things that really don't have many fundamentals at all. You know, just absolute total dog shit, which is a good sign of alt season. But, you know, when I'm invested in things, I really want to get in something that other people can see the narrative and they can believe in it. You know, they can come in and buy it. Now, of course, there's, you know, this whole conspiracy that there's like, you know, pumps. You know, what's going to pump next? When the reality is that, you know, things just cycle, markets cycle. It's not, there's not some conspiracy where there's some, you know, dude that's coming along just pumping this and pumping that. Although, you know, if you look at Binance these days, which, you know, I loved Binance back in the day. I really wish I could still be there. You've got random dog shit just firing off left and right. Let's go ahead and we will switch it over to the charts. Let's see. Desktop, backtop, blah, 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 and background removal. Yeah, ARPA, Dusk, all of that shit is doing really well. I mean, I think from a fundamental perspective, like Dusk is probably one of the strongest projects out there. And it sucks that I had to sell my bag, but that shit is just absolutely fucking. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about, though. So we're looking at the DeFi perp right now on FTX, and as you can see, we've had since this was about the top for DeFi, right, the 12th of February. And since then, it's really just kind of been consolidating, waiting for its next leg up, its next moment in the sun. And we do have this pennant structure, which just looks absolutely fantastic. There's a couple of different ways where you can actually calculate what a potential target would be from a pennant, from a break. So looking at this right here, you can take the length of the flagpole and apply that to the point of the breakout. And as you can see right here, and I think I commented on this in Messy Charts on Discord, but that puts us at about 80% from the break on target, well, which means that, you know, I think this index is mainly comprised of like the blue chips and stuff like that, you know, maybe YFI, synthetics, compound, those kinds of things. So when you think about that, the way I'm looking at this and the way I'm going to trade it is I think that most of these, you know, major DeFi things like compound and such maybe have about a 2x in them. I do think that the market is getting to the point where, you know, we're borderline absurd at this moment. So we'll just have to like kind of wait and see what happens here. But I do think that, you know, pretty safely we can get another 2x out of DeFi. I think, you know, when we do get another 2x, there's definitely going to be euphoria in the air because people have made so much money. And that's just something to think about. But look at DeFi Perp right here. And this is one thing that kind of blows my mind. We've also got something called Shitperp, right? And look at Shitperp relative to DeFi Perp. Now, if you look at Shitperp, I've got this fan drawn on it, and the fan has actually worked fantastically. I mean, you can see exact like wicks coming down to this fan line, this GAN line down here. But the next target for this would be about 9,900, maybe 10,000. Shitcoins have maybe about another 13-14% in them. And let's find out what exactly is in Shitperp. So the Shitcoin index, it's an index of 58 low market cap coins, including Wave, Grin, Nano. It's all of those, you know, 2017 poo-poo coins. But the interesting thing here, and I did not expect this at all, is that Shitperp has just crushed DeFi Perp. And Shitperp is mainly full of stuff with, you know, arguably garbage fundamentals. So if we do DeFi Perp divided by Shitperp, you can see right here, DeFi Perp was the performer, right, from the 26th of December. This was a massive capitulation event to early February. And then you can clearly see that the money rotated into these shitcoins, which is really interesting. I mean, these shitcoins have significantly outperformed DeFi for the past 2 months. And the real question becomes, you know, at what fucking point does this reverse? And I think we're at the early phases, the early stages of this reversal right now. We're just going to have to wait and see. But that is just absolutely brutal. You know, looking at something like this in retrospect is pretty ugly. But if you do chart things versus other things, I think it's a good way to kind of figure out when things are going to rotate and things like that. This is the all-time VWAP, and you can see this almost acts kind of like a rubber band. You know, you can see that, you know, once again, like we dumped until we hit this VWAP, and then we dumped some more. But even right here, like we're oscillating around this. This is almost like a point of mean reversion. And I do think that at the very least, we will have DeFi mean revert against these shitcoins, you know, back to this VWAP. You know, I'm not sure about what's going on up here. My entire portfolio right now is structured around hopefully getting a 3x on my portfolio in a high liquidity environment. That's really all I'm concerned about. I'm not trying to hit 10x's. I'm not trying to hit 20x's. And the reasoning is A, you know, of course I have made money, but B, we're getting to a point in this cycle where there are top things in the air. You know, between Yats and all this NFT mess and who's talking about all of this kind of shit, it's just starting to look a bit overheated. Now, with that being said, you know, if we look at what euphoria looks like, you know, euphoria is really exciting. It can go on for a really long period of time. And it's not necessarily like something to where like, holy fuck, you know, like it's time to bail, like, you know, get the fuck out. Because if you look at euphoria, I mean, with Bitcoin, we could be at like, maybe like right here, right? And you can see what happens next. This is euphoria, you know, just like straight up parabolic advance, like absolutely fucking insane. And you know what? Maybe we'll try to draw a parabola on this just so we can see, you know, where we're at here. Give me just a moment. I'm going to get my arc tool. It's in here somewhere, right? The fuck is this shit? Maybe I'm missing it. Oh, dude, did not want to draw that. Give me just a moment. I gotta find this shit. Trend angle, ray. Maybe it's under here. No, maybe it's under here. Yeah, here we go. Curve. So if this is our parabolic arc, you know, right here for the entire trend, you know, I do think that this has a long way to run potentially. One thing to keep in mind, you know, we haven't had any like major pullbacks this cycle. You know, 30% has kind of been the new norm. I'm not sure, maybe that is the new norm. I know like we're in a much more liquid environment now. Let's also draw this parabola right here. So here's another parabola, and you can see that we haven't even really broken this parabola down either. So I'm not bearish on Bitcoin yet. You know, I don't think that there's any real need for concern. And, you know, looking at this, like, that's quite the run, right? But it doesn't really have that same feel as we had in 2017. And maybe the biggest difference here is that, you know, this is institutional driven FOMO. It's not retail driven FOMO. I don't fucking know. But for me, it's at least getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I need to start thinking about, hey, I've made some money here. How do I keep this money? And maybe that's just 2017 PTSD talking. But to be quite honest, maybe you have to have a little of that PTSD in you to actually keep what you have. You know, I still saw, remember a couple of days ago, I saw Not So Fast say on Twitter that he, at one point, or he's drawn down like 80% or something like that. And I know he got hacked or anything like that, but people were laughing at him. But the reality of the matter is, I mean, if you've been here for long enough, unless you're just the luckiest dude in the world, there's a high probability you've had a really, really nasty drawdown, you know, somewhere in there. Of course, right now, all eyes are on Ethereum. You know, I've got this GAN fan drawn for Ethereum, which is working out really, really well so far. I would imagine we'll see some intermediate resistance for Ethereum around 2,300. You know, if we can manage to break this GAN line to the upside, you know, we can get up here. Now, one really interesting thing I wanted to point out, we've looked at DeFi Perp, right? And DeFi Perp has really been going sideways for 2 months. And then you look at Shitperp, which is, you know, the stuff like waves, the, you know, ETH killers, things like that, I believe are all kind of bucketed in there. And you look at that, and that's kind of what's been performing for the past 2 months. But if you look at Ethereum, you know, what has Ethereum been doing while DeFi Perp has been going sideways? Ethereum's been doing the exact same thing. Ethereum's been going sideways, right? So we have this breakout on Ethereum and a simultaneous breakout on DeFi Perp. So I do think that very, very soon, if not right now, we are in the early phases where all of that money that was made over the last 2 months and these absolute shitcoins gets rotated back into DeFi with strong fundamentals. That's at least what my thesis is. You know, I haven't taken any new positions. I posted a lot of setups of bags and shit that I'm not in messy charts in our Discord. Sounds like Cope. Hey, Mike, go fuck yourself. Douchebag. I hope you're coming to Miami, though. For real, for real. But anyway, looking at this, it is interesting to see that, you know, DeFi and Ethereum seem to be tied so closely together. And I would imagine, you know, we had so many people talking about the week before, or at least I was talking about the fact that everybody was so fucking underexposed to Ethereum and Ethereum-based DeFi because that's not what's been moving. You know, if anything, people were starting to laugh at it and people were starting to make jokes of it. You know, you saw Ethereum or Bitcoin maximalists, they had that little clubhouse chat to celebrate Ethereum, you know, breaking down like 0.03 or whatever. That was literally the exact fucking bottom. But I feel like that same kind of mentality is really infected the Ethereum-based DeFi landscape as well. You know, oh, the gas is too high, you know, oh this, oh that. But Ethereum has some really interesting narratives coming up. You know, one is EIP 1559, which is slated for July, which I have a strong feeling may be the top for Ethereum. I'd love to see us pump into that. And then you also have level 2 scaling narratives coming up as well. I saw a really cool AMM proposal for an AMM on Starkware, which is a really, really cool level 2, which the proposal was interesting to me because it's going to allow all of the liquidity to remain on level 1, and then they batch transactions or something like that, dude. Yeah, sell Mr. Chummy, Lupe. Sell Mr. Chummy. You know, he's going to be glue anyway one day. You know, you might as well get rid of him. Yes, the multi-chain world is coming, but I don't believe we're going to see true multi-chain future until maybe the next cycle. We're in the early phases right now of experimenting with multi-chain. I mean, there's like really just not that much that exists outside of the Ethereum DeFi universe. Unless you look at things like maybe Binance Smart Chain, which has done incredibly well. I really wish I had stuck to my guns on that. But unfortunately, you know, when Binance kicked all of the US people off, I had to get off of Binance Smart Chain because there's no good bridges. And that's the biggest issue with this multi-chain future right now, is because all of the liquidity is on Ethereum. All of the on-ramps are primarily for Ethereum. So we have to have better bridge infrastructure to where, you know, we can actually migrate some of this liquidity, you know, to Solana, to Polkadot, to Cosmos, to all of these different things, to AVAX. I do believe in the future that most of the people that interact with DeFi probably won't even realize what chain that they're interacting with. It's probably going to be a situation where you have an aggregator that aggregates liquidity and blah, blah, blah from multiple chains. Which is really interesting to see. But I do think now it is Ethereum season. It is Ethereum-based DeFi season. I do think that we have a second round of stimulus checks hitting sometime later this month. And things are really starting to get heated up. Things are really starting to, you know, look pretty interesting here. So I'm optimistic on that. You know, we'll just have to play by ear and see what happens. I'm going to do a quick rundown of the positions that I'm in, and then maybe we'll have a little bit of time to chart some things you guys want to chart. Maybe we'll take a look at some setups and some shit that I'm not in. First thing that we'll take a look at is Rook. This is Rook Perp, which is just a representation of Rook versus the US dollar. You can see here that I draw my trend lines from body to body, right? And that's how I've always done it. I don't know. Sometimes TradingView unanchors things. That's just kind of weird. But we can actually see here, of course, brutal downtrend for Rook. I mean, this was really, really painful to hold through, even though I did manage to sell some up here. But we've got this really nice breakout. That's the Tika Scam Wordle camera, a candle, or whatever that fucking dude's name is. Perfect throwback. You can see this wick comes down, touches the trend line exactly. And now we are off to the races. Inside bar on that throwback. And we are making new highs relative to yesterday's daily. So I am optimistic about Rook here. I don't think that we're out of the woods yet. Actually, looking at Rook versus Ethereum paints an interesting picture as well. And you can see that Rook versus Ethereum, we definitely broke the downtrend, and now we're just kind of in this sideways chop phase. And we've seen this sideways chop phase before. It's just ugly. I still remember just the roller coaster of emotions I felt during this period of time, you know, because Rook had this, you know, big up impulse candle, and then it was down, and then it was up, and then it was down, and then it was up. We finally started seeing some really, really nice movements for Rook right here. Now, in retrospect, this is a really weak example of this, but, you know, I talk about the concept of 3 pushes really often, and you do see 1, 2, 3 pushes right here. Now, it sucks because the way I was looking at this, you know, is we actually had this previous all-time high, and what I was really hoping for was a mega moon back then, of course, but everything pulled back, and we ended up breaking down here, you know, and entering this downtrend. But what I can actually see is, you know, Rook ranging sideways here for a moment. Not many people realize this, but Rook is about to cut its emissions by 30% again in about a month's time. So that's going to take a lot of the sell pressure off. They've got $55 million in the treasury. That entire $55 million is now TVL. That's liquidity mining Rook. And that's helping with inflation as well. Now, another interesting thing is when Rook actually implements liquidations into the hiding game, which I think is something, it's been delayed, but it's coming very soon. That's actually going to change up the emission split just a bit. And I think the split right now is 30-70. 30% of Rook rewards actually go to the people providing the TVL for the flash loans. And the other 70% goes towards people that are participating in the hiding game. Now, the new split, 20% is going to go to these people liquidity mining. Then we're going to have 40%, which goes towards hiding game. And these are people just, you know, placing limit orders and things like that. And then another 40% is going to go to the people that are participating in liquidations. And I don't know exactly how they're going to do it, but, you know, you're going to route your compound positions through the hiding game. So when you get liquidated, you'll actually get a more favorable price on that. And I think it lowers the probability of you being liquidated too. Just something to think about. But for Rook, honestly, this is easy mode. You know, you can actually chart Rook on TradingView, and I don't know why it's like this, but for whatever reason, the Rook chart is inverted. So you're gonna have to do 1 divided by WETH Rook. Add this all-time VWAP to your chart. You can just add that volume weighted average price, go into your settings, go to inputs, okay? Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. VWAP, settings, inputs, and you can look at this anchor period and set it to anything that's decade or higher, and you can get this VWAP on your chart as well. But you can see right now that this VWAP is acting as resistance. So it's going to be very obvious when we actually reclaim this VWAP and we get above this volume weighted average price. It's going to be very obvious that, hey, you know, it's time to fucking party on Rook. And we'll see what Rook has. We'll see what Rook can do. Moving on, 88 MPH. We have this kind of wedge structure playing out here. This wedge, and I'm going to extend this so we can see exactly when it resolves. But this wedge resolves early May. So these guys are actually working on 88 MPH V3 right now, which is a really interesting development because one of the biggest issues right now with 88 MPH is the composability of the protocol. It's difficult for yield aggregators and things like that to tie into 88 MPH for strategies because of the requirement to actually pay back MPH towards the end of it. Now, that was a good idea just because it was favorable for the token economics, but this is really preventing significant TVL from hitting MPH. And also, I do believe it's getting in the way of the structured products as well. So 88 MPH, you know, I'm continuing to hold this. I do think that this is extremely undervalued, you know, relative to what it should be. This is definitely like my lower cap play. If I was, you know, we're expecting anything out of this, you know, maybe a 5x, something like that. I don't know if you guys follow Random Task. If not, you should, but he's got these things he calls Chaos PRZ. So using his method to look at some targets for this, we have $830 and $1,487 as these chaos targets, which would put us at, let's say it breaks out, you know, sometime middle of April. That's about a 5x from where we're at right now. So really nice upside there. We'll see what happens. 88 MPH has been whitelisted on Bancor now, which is really nice. They're about to have more liquidity. I think what they're actually going to do is they're going to have a co-investment, and I think that the founders are going to fill that co-investment up, which should be really interesting, and maybe figure out some kind of way to add, you know, MPH liquidity mining rewards to that. Yeah, if you guys are following Messy Charts, we did talk about BAO, and I think we talked about it right here. But yeah, that's doing quite well. And what's up with this? Yeah, here we go. That's doing quite well. So if you got in on that BAO breakout, that looks really nice here. You know, the first point of resistance I'd be looking at would be about right here for BAO, and that is 0.00136. And I will go ahead and I will post this in Messy Charts on Discord. Bam. just so you guys can have access to that. I was also looking at, and these are just things that, like, I know I'm not interested in new positions right now because I do believe what I'm in is going to fulfill my goal, 2 to 3x. I'd love the 3x. I'll take a 2x in a high liquidity environment so I don't get slipped fucking 30% when I'm trying to get out. But if we go ahead and we check out Alpha Token, this is also looking pretty fucking good. Maybe potentially making some kind of cup and handle structure here. You know, where you can see this and maybe it's gonna fuck around like that and then continue the upside. I'm not 100% sure, but if I did have the money, this is something that I would definitely be interested in. And another setup that we discussed in Messy Charts was Badger. Badger looks really, really, really nice here. You've got this nice descending wedge. And I think we were looking at Badger on the log scale. Yeah, here we go. Just because all the trend lines and shit were a little bit cleaner. But you can see what's really interesting right here. There's really not much here for Badger to bounce on. There's really not much precedent for that, but Badger has just been building their fucking asses off. I know these guys are straight builders. I know they're committed to the mission. Not worried about Badger at all. If I had money, I'd be buying back into Badger literally right here. Because what you can see here, you've got this diagonal right here, which acted as support. You've got really, really nice confluence here with the horizontal. Right here, you can see this was a little area that we stopped before we went really parabolic, which actually acted as support. People are in straight Wojak mode about Badger. Badger's dead, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. Oh, they lost half their TVL. No, 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 no. But the reality of the situation is that we've got this really, really nice descending wedge on Badger. And much like Rook, you've got this breakout, perfect throwback to the trend line, and now it appears that we are off to the races. So if I did have money, Badger is something that I would be interested in. Now, we will take a look at ID, and that is Everest, for anybody that doesn't know. ID is a really interesting one, and ID is a random task bag. So like I said, if you guys aren't following random task, you need to be, because he's had some absolutely amazing calls. What we can see here, though, is a really, really clear support resistance flip. You can see that we made this new high right here, dump, 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 right? We tested that trend line, and now we are off, and ID is making these new highs. ID is not the most liquid bag, which is something that kept me out of it. But if you are trading smaller size, this right here around $1 would have been a fantastic snag. I'm not too sure about $1.50. I would much rather have bought down here if I were to enter, but if you are in, this is definitely a hold. It's something that's looking very good. I'm not quite sure how high this goes, and so I guess we're just going to have to wait and see and find out. Yeah, let's take a look at RGT. Really, I've got about 10 more minutes in this stream, 15 more minutes, so I think we're just going to chart as much shit as we possibly can here. RGT, really interesting structure. There are those in the world that would probably say, oh, head and shoulders, you know, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is, I think this looks pretty fucking good. You've got some absolute giga whales supporting RGT, Tetranode namely. Tetranode's opened his own pool on Fuse, which is their level 2 money market solution, which is slated to be an Aave competitor, and I believe. But this just looks pretty good. I think we could actually see some continuation here. I'm not entirely sure exactly how high RGT is going to go. I don't really like buying shit that other people are up so much on. And you can see here, RGT has been an absolute amazing performer, up 4,400% from the bottom. So you are buying somebody else's multiple. Like, let's just be very, very clear about that. And not just a multiple, like, you're buying an extreme multiple, right? You're buying something somebody has made a fucking ton of money on. With that being said, you know, talking about strong fundamentals, we definitely have strong fundamentals here. What I would be on the lookout for is these, is 3 pushes. Right? Now that would be unfortunate, but it's something that we have to remember and we have to consider. So imagine a world where RGT does something like this and goes to maybe $35, I think would be an appropriate target. And then we'll see what happens from there. Now, doing the random task chaos PRZ method, we can see that the first PRZ for this is about at 70, so maybe we actually are going to the fucking moon on this one. But once again, you know, we're talking extreme upside. At $35, this would be up almost 10,000% from the bottom. And I think that buying anything that's up that much or holding something that's up that much is a perfect representation of greed. Yes, Matt, we are still bullish on Rook. We have looked at Rook a lot in this stream already. I would advise you maybe to go back and watch the stream. It's not that long of a stream, so check that out. How about that Hxro token? How about it? You guys are gonna hear a lot more about Hxro. I cannot drop the Hxro pill on you yet. We will look at MTA in just a second. I cannot Hxro pill you yet. Expect our light paper to be dropping very soon, and then I'll have a lot more to talk about. And be sure, you can be sure that I will clue you in. I'm going to walk through the entire light paper with you, tell you what we got going on. The TLDR here is that Hxro is probably the most undervalued Solana project right now. But like I said, you know, let's wait for that light paper. Let's wait for that MVP that we're going to be dropping soon. You know, I'd rather let the work do the talking. I know we've been quiet, but we have a lot going on, and I'm really excited about sharing that with you. And especially, you know, Bitcoin Miami, by the time that rolls around, I'm definitely going, like, we're going to have a lot to fucking talk about concerning Hxro. I can't really talk about the Hxro chart. I can talk about Hxro from a fundamental perspective, and I don't think that anybody has even thought about doing something as crazy as what we're doing. With actual utility too. So you're just gonna have to wait and see on that. So yeah, somebody did ask about MTA. We will take a brief look at MTA. MTA looks good still. You know, we've got this this structure in MTA. MTA has broken out. MTA is holding this trend line right here. Now, just to easy mode MTA, because I like to easy mode things as much as possible, we can throw this on the weekly chart, and it's very, very easy to just throw a ray on this right here, and you can very, very clearly see what we're up against. About $3.60, that's the level that we're looking at. When we get above $3.60, it's time to party on MTA. Now, if we actually look at the daily chart here, you know, I just wanted to point out, I've got this same all-time VWAP right here. This acted as the ultimate resistance for that last push, right? We have all these wicks up into this VWAP. So at the end of the day, I would really, really, really like to see us get above this weighted average price. And then we can start seeing, you know, what MTA has in it, you know, what we can do here. And I'm going to try to throw a GAN fan on this really quick. Wow, that GAN is actually fitting pretty well. So that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to also throw random tasks, chaos PRZ levels on this as well. So chaos PRZ target, the first one is around $15, which is something that I definitely think could happen. One of the interesting things about these GAN fans is they can actually potentially allow you to time market movements too, you know, when exactly we might hit this level. So if we hit this level and we come back to this 1 out of 1 line, that would put us somewhere towards the end of June at about $15. I think $15 is a fantastic target for MTA. You know, unless something happens and MTA gets a billion TVL, and you know, we'll see what's going on here. Yeah, we'll take a look at BNT in just a second. But the interesting thing about where this Chaos PRZ level intersects with the GAN fan is that it is at the end of June, and that we have EIP 1559 dropping in early July, which I do believe could be kind of a top event for Ethereum. We'll see what's up with that. I haven't taken a look at Hawk in a while. I don't really know what's going on with them, but we will take a quick look at that if we do have time. We do have some people asking for a BNT chart, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at BNT. So we can see BNT here. You know, this was really the level that we really needed to stay above. You know, you can see we went above this level. We had that nasty little dump on Saturday, which you can, I mean, BNT is so liquid, like it's really difficult for BNT to move unless there's strong conviction in a direction, because it's going to plow through $1 billion of liquidity to actually do that, which, you know, it takes a lot of buying or a lot of selling. So you can see on these legs up, like that's a lot of fucking buying right there. Now I did think, you know, we actually dumped, we were rejected at this $7.60 level and we were dumping below. I did think that maybe we were going to come down here and retest this, but we are having a bullish Monday, which is a little surprising to me. I thought it might be one of those situations to where, you know, we had a bloody Monday and there's going to be some really nice dips to buy. but BNT has reclaimed this level. We are above this yellow line here. So I'm excited to see what BNT has in the future. Vortex went live on BNT a couple days ago. So just something to keep in mind. Now with BNT, we are also looking at that Bitcoin chart. So I think it's important for us to, look at this Bitcoin chart again. And you can see right here, this was where BNT really went crazy when we broke this volume weighted average price to the upside. Boom, we came back, we're retesting-ish this trend line now. We're retesting this volume weighted average price, which has broken outside of this structure as well. Extremely similar chart to MTA when you look at it. I mean, literally almost the exact same. So BNT and MTA, or BNT versus BTC at least, and MTA do appear to be on similar trajectories. I still would like to see much higher on BNT. I'm going to say $15 at the absolute minimum. The meme target is 25. Some people are saying it's 50, but this looks absolutely fantastic. Looking at that tether chart though, versus the US dollar, we do see a flag structure. This flag structure was broken to the upside, and using random task chaos PRZ levels, we have a target around $20, which is interesting because that puts us between 15 when I think some people may be inclined to sell, and that meme target of 25. Now, one thing that's important to note here with BNT, before we get ahead of ourselves, right? And just to be fully transparent, I'm not going to fucking tell you guys this is going to $100. I am going to sell the third push. I don't know where that third push ends up, but we have two pushes here that are very clear. 1, 2, 3. So the real question here is, when does this third push happen? I think it's happening right now. And then where does this third push end up, right? Who knows? Who knows? Now, things can go beyond 3 pushes, but 3 pushes for me is typically when I like to get out. That's when I think other people get out. That's when things kind of cool off. Momentum can die down. I'm not 100% sure where this is going, but that third push is where I'm going to be looking at exiting. Okay. So we did BNT, we did this, we did that. We'll take a look at OXT. Not quite sure what that is. Orchid token, perhaps? Or 0x token? I think we're talking about... no way it's that. Surely it's Orchid. Yeah, that does look good. As you can see here, once again, a case of illiquidity, 630 Ethereum. While the chart looks good, and what we can see here is very cup and handle-ish, you can see just from the wicks that this is super liquid. Now, one thing that's really interesting about this is this massive uptick in volume recently. That does give me confidence that there is a reason that we've made a new all-time high here, and maybe we will see some follow-through on this. This is really exactly what you want to see. Rejected right here, right? Boom. There's your support resistance flip, and it does appear that we are off to the races. So stay tuned on that. I guess we'll see what's going to happen there. We can look at Vesper. What's the ticker for Vesper? We'll look at Yax while we're getting that ticker for Vesper. Yax is something that I've been watching. I think Yax looks absolutely fantastic here. You've got this previous level that led to this run right here. When we broke this, it was really off to the races. We managed to retrace all the way back to this level. Now, Yax isn't exactly super liquid either, but it is liquid relative to its market cap, which is something that's important to note. That's one of the things that's concerning to me about Everest ID, because I can look at Everest right here. It's number 271. It's got a $175 million cap, but you still only have like 650 Ethereum worth of liquidity. That's a bit scary. Now, Yax has the exact same amount of liquidity as Everest ID, and we're looking at Yax at number 922 here at a $13 million market cap. Okay, with the exact same amount of liquidity as something with a market cap 10 times higher. Now, if I were still trying to get big multiples, if I was still looking to maybe get a 10x, I think Yax is something that would definitely fit that bill. This chart though looks really, really good. Really solid accumulation going on right here. I just can't see a future where this doesn't pump off this level. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I need to take another look, but I think this is still a 0xB1 supported project. I do know that they lost a lot of their TVL, so I'm not 100% sure what's up with that. Let's go ahead and dive into the app, and we'll see how much they've got locked up now. Can you not see the TVL on the fucking website now? Advanced. 8% APY. I think you're getting paid in Yaks though. So Yaks is a token swap and incentivized liquidity mining and staking update coming in April. Do you guys know if 0xB1 is still in that? If he is still in this project and he's supporting this project, I think that this, you know, in my opinion, is probably one of the sweeter buys. Keep, that's something that I haven't heard in a while. Let's look at Keep. Wow, okay. That actually looks fantastic. You know, looking at this, really clear, you know, new high. Let's go. 3,000 Ethereum liquidity, definitely tons of liquidity, definitely a huge uptick in volume. Keep is a herein competitor. For those of you that aren't really sure what it is, I think it's a way to get like Bitcoin and stuff like that onto the Ethereum chain. Also, there's something not many people are talking about, and that's the boring DAO, which is another competitor. Not very liquid, 6 Ethereum. I think most of the liquidity is on SushiSwap. I think you can chart that on ChartX, but we don't really have that much time left. But this is another thing that not many people talk about that is also a herein competitor in a sense. Yeah, we'll take a quick look at Ensure, and I think this is going to be the last one, guys. I have this marked up. Yeah, ZRX does look really good. Vesper, we'll do Vesper last because I did say I was going to take a look at that. But Ensure looks really good. I don't know what the fuck these guys are cooking, but this shit has literally been going sideways for months and months and months and months now. One of these insurance products, and I've always said this, look, fucking 155 days of really nothing, but one of these insurance products eventually is going to fuck. I don't know if it's Ensure, maybe, maybe not. But we will see. Yeah, Boring DAO is backed by 3AC. Defiance, I believe, is who's invested in Boring. VSP is Vesper token, USD, and Vesper does look quite good as well. So this is just something I would keep an eye on. You can see this support resistance flip right here on that new ATH. The big question is can this continue? Because we do have arguably 1, 2, 3 pushes, which is a bit scary, but you know, we'll have to wait and see what happens. And yeah, I did say I'd look at Haka, so we'll do that as well. And for real, after this, I am done. Haka, I'm not really sure what to make of this. Let's draw some trend lines on this. Maybe it's in some kind of channel or something like that. If you were interested in Haka, you know, I definitely think that if they had anything going on, and like I said, I'm not quite sure what the deal with Haka is. I haven't looked at it in a while. But if they did have anything going on, this would definitely be an area of interest for Haka with a target. And this target has some nice confluence here. A target of about 20 cents. So guys, look, as much as I would like to look into everything, I'm going to give you an opportunity to have exactly that done because I do have to go. I need to go to the gym. I got to get my workout in. I've also got to take my dog to poop. So if you are not in our Discord, join our Discord. If you follow me on Twitter, I'm going to post the link to our Discord and Twitter right now. So copy, tweet, join Hxro Labs Discord. Okay, so I've tweeted out that link. Join that Discord, and I'm going to tell you why. We have a dedicated Messy Charts channel. If you do like my take on things, if you do like my analysis, you can see that I'm not fucking around. Literally, Messy Charts is like Shitcoin talk or Shitcoin Church in text format all day, every day. And you can see this is literally just from yesterday, what I'm scrolling through all yesterday. Here's the day before. Here's the day before. So you can see, I mean, every fucking day I'm updating all of these bags and I'm doing all of these things. Now we do have a special designation in our Discord. It is called Hero Ape. And you can see we have about 13 Hero Apes online right now. But what this actually allows you to do, we have a research request channel where people can come in and people can post chart requests. Like if you want me to chart Vesper, you want me to chart Yaks, you want me to chart whatever, you can come in, you can post those things, okay? And I will actually look into it. I'll do Nansen's for you. I'll do charts for you. I'll look into the fundamentals for you, the token economics. Now, how do you get to be a Hero Ape? It's really simple. We have a bot in our channel called Me6. It's kind of like a moderator bot, but after a certain amount of activity on our Hxro Labs Discord, you actually get level 5 with Me6 that will give you automatically you get the Hero Ape designation, and you get access to this research request channel to where you can come in and you can request me to chart these things at any point in time, okay? So you guys get in that Discord, chat it up. Look, we've got the whole trading pit, and the whole trading pit on Telegram is going to be moving to Discord eventually, so you need to get here and you need to get your level up eventually. I was not originally a big fan of Discord, but I'm actually really liking what's going on here. You can see that we've just got a general hangout channel, degen trading, NFT trading, yield farming, non-Ethereum shit, long-term shills. If you're in a bag and you're feeling really good about it, you can hop in this shills channel and you can talk to whoever you want about it. It's just something to keep your eyes on, okay? But okay, 0xB1 is still in Yaks. That's very good to hear. But guys, get into Discord, chat a little bit. It's really easy to hit level 5. It might take you 2 or 3 days, but if you do hit level 5, that'll give you access to this research request channel, and I promise I try to get to everything in there, and that'll show up in messy charts. But even if you just want to be a lurker, you can access messy charts whenever, and you can see that, you know, I actually do put a ton of fucking work into this channel. I mean, just I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. There's endless content here. So you guys join up with Hxro Discord. Check that out. This has been a short but sweet episode. Wish me luck in the gym. It is leg day. And I will see you guys next time. So until then, Messi signing off.